A love that is so innocent and mature at the same time. A love that sees no differences of birth and social status. Four brothers who fights like enemies yet at the same time loves each other like friends. Two sisters suffering at the hands of a psychopathic patriarch and trying to find out their voices and existence through love and mutual bonding. And finally, a place that contains all of them with all its scenic beauty. Kumbalangi Nights thus packs a lot that makes it a must-watch. Hi there, this is Cinema is the Language. Welcome to our channel. Today, we are going to review Kumbalangi Nights. Now, where can I start? Set in a small fishing village named Kumbalangi, the story is about four brothers living in a dysfunctional home in the outskirts of the village and how they stand up for each other. But the story offers much more than what I just told you. Now, we are going to delve deep into the plot and discuss about one of the best, if not the best movies to have come out of India in recent past. So, if you have not watched it yet, then please go and watch it on Amazon Prime Videos as this review contains spoilers. The movie starts with the youngest of all four brothers, Frankie, played by debutant Matthew Harris. He stays in a hostel and the summer vacation is about to begin. Everyone is going to their respective homes. But he is hesitant to go home, and even when his friends ask if they could come and visit him in the vacation, he lies to them by saying that everyone in his family is down with smallpox. He goes home and there we meet in a half-naked small house two more of his brothers. The eldest one is Saji, played by the brilliant Subin Sahir, and his third brother Bobby, played by the charming Shane Nigam. And a little bit later we meet the second brother Bonnie, who is a mute, played by Srinath Vasi. Bobby and Saji don't get along at all. Whenever they meet, they fight, and as they live together, brawls happen fairly frequently. Kumbalangi Nights start as a love story. Bobby falls in love with a girl named Baby, played by the gorgeous Anne Ben, who works at a resort and has a homestay for foreigners who comes to visit Kumbalangi. Bobby is a guy next door who doesn't work or does anything productive, but still has an ingrained ego of male chauvinism in him. In a scene when Bobby and Baby goes to watch a movie in the theater, at first Bobby asks permission to kiss her and Baby refuses. Still he tries to kiss her and gets instinctively slapped, and that hurt his mountain-like male ego. He stands up his seat and walks out of the theater saying, "Don't forget, I am a man." But at the same time, Bobby is far from a bad character. He matures through the course of the movie and is quite likable. The scene where Bobby and Baby reunites is so cute, and it would bring smile to your lips for sure. Baby and Bobby's love life goes through these kinds of ups and downs frequently, and how the strong independent working woman changes Bobby day by day is really enjoyable to watch. Anne Ben does the job wonderfully. Her big eyes can portray any emotion with such minimal effort that you can't take your eyes off her. Baby lives with her mother, played by Ambika Rao, her newly married sister, played by Gracie Anthony, and her husband Sammy, played by the magnetic Fahadh Faasil. We have to give a whole segment to him, so let's talk about him later. So where was I? Bobby. Shane Nigam's Bobby is portrayed so spontaneously, and you will surely find someone you know in him. We see every intricate detail of his character so closely that it's hard not to fall in love with him. He works clumsily, talks with little pauses in between, and we see his progress from a boy to becoming a real man. On the other end of the spectrum is his elder brother Saji, who has an ironing shop jointly with his best friend Murugan. Saji doesn't work and pays his dues from the ironing shop mostly run by his friend. Someday, in a brawl with Bonnie, Saji gets beaten up by him. That hurts him badly. So he goes to his only friend Murugan to ease his pain, where he learns that Murugan is planning to shift to a city to give his pregnant wife and his children a better life. And when Saji conveys to Murugan that his brother said that he is a parasite feeding off his friend's hard work, Murugan acknowledges that. It was too much to take, and the water went over the bridge for Saji. He ran away from there to ransacked old warehouse to commit suicide. As he was hanging himself from the roof, Murugan tried to save his life, and the old pearls of the building collapsed over them. Saji got his life back, but with the expense of his dearest friend. His heart breaks but he could not take the pain and becomes numb. He could not cry. Subin Sahir is a gem. He has the face of a regular guy. He vanishes fully in any character he plays. And here, he plays this grief-stricken middle-aged single man with such warmth that it melts your heart. This event changes him as a man. He went from a bully to a compassionate elder brother. After the death of Murugan, he went to his house to Murugan's pregnant wife to ask for mercy. But instead, her labor pain begins and he had to take her to the hospital, and she gave birth to a beautiful child. He takes both of them in his home to help them. And I feel this was his way to ask salvation for all the wrongdoings he has done in the past. Then, there is the journey of Bonnie, who is a mute. This movie doesn't make us feel sympathetic to this mute character. The writer Sam Pushkaran takes a different approach. Bonnie is the strong-willed, independent young man who, by the way, has the strongest personality of all the four brothers. He doesn't live in their home to stay away from all the nuisance, but he loves his little brother Frankie very much, and the dynamic bond they share is true and pure. Bonnie falls in love with a foreigner who is visiting Kumbalangi and staying in the homestay that baby operates in her house. Naila, played by Jasmine, meets with Bonnie in a few occasions and immediately gets attracted to his personality. And eventually, she takes Bonnie with him to her homestay, but there resides Shami, who could not take that. He calls them out and makes them leave. But before leaving, Sammy asks Bonnie that how did he manage to trap a foreigner? And Bonnie gave the apt reply by his sign, personality. Yes, personality, which Sammy has, but of a different kind. Shami, played by Fahadh Faasil, is a self-obsessed control freak. From the first scene that he is in, you can feel what an intimidating character Shami is. You will laugh at him, but with a tinge of fear. It is refreshing to see Fahadh play a negative character. The character of Shami could have easily become a caricature if not done right. But Fahadh, he is exquisite as this sociopath. In a scene, he makes his mother-in-law sit one of the side in the table, and casually he brings his chair to the center where the man of the house sits. And we see him become the male leader of this all-female family. In the movie, we see every character growing except of Shami. And I'm not saying this in a negative way. We see Shami as he is, but he is revealed as the story progresses. And in the last 15 minutes, the story takes a dark turn as Shami's real self gets to see the light. He is a madman who sees himself as a hero, and he could do anything to protect his position. I'd go as far as to say that Fahadh Faasil is one of the best actors working today in India, even all over the world, and his portrayal of Shami is another bright feather in his cap. In all of the ensemble cast, Fahadh's character is my personal favorite. Finally, the one character we did not discuss about is the town Kumbalangi itself. This movie is just incomplete without the serene countryside of Kumbalangi. I have never visited Kerala, but believe me, this movie will make you fall in love with the place. You would definitely want to spend a few nights there. Writer Sam Pushkaran wrote the screenplay of Kumbalangi Nights based on his own life of living in a small village like Kumbalangi, and you can see the authenticity in this story. His quirky dialogues never seem forced. His characters are real, and they are far from being perfect and resembles some of the people whom we all have come across around us. He and debutant director made a movie about a living, breathing village and its people. The writing was phenomenal in the way the characters were developed. Like in the characters of Shami, they did not make it explicit but left enough subtle hints to make the audience aware of a sociopath lurking in him. Right from the beginning, we can sense a self-obsessed freak who is going to do something destructive. In fact, it is commendable how the movie dealt with every complex problem with subtlety. When Saji was going through trauma and depression, he realized that he needed counseling, as he was unable to even cry at the sudden death of his friend. He was taken to a psychiatrist, which eventually helped him. It's just outstanding that a movie which is so compact in its subject matter can also talk about issues like suicide and mental health, even in its limited scope. It also uses irony as one of its tools. Saji went there to kill himself, but only managed to get his friend killed, who was actually trying to save him. It is at once dark and bizarre, But at the same time, it shows us how chance and coincidences play a vital role in human life and how we can only plan as humans, but its execution remains at the hands of so many external factors. Bobby learns during the course of the movie to become aware of his responsibilities, but during the process he also learns to have a respect for his own family, which is also true for Frankie. They finally manage to ensnare Shammy with a fishing net that is the means of their livelihood as fishermen, something Bobby always regarded as shameful. I'm going to compare this Madhu C. Narayan's directorial debut with 2020's Oscar winner Parasite, because both these films have striking similarities. Both of the films bend their respective genres in a way that we have never seen before. Parasite starts as a dark comedy and gradually becomes a thriller with a deep insight about society and economy. On the other hand, there is Kumbalangi Nights, which starts as a dysfunctional family drama, then takes a turn to a romantic comedy, and in the last 20 minutes becomes the Age of a Sid thriller. It also has a serious social message about the patriarchy and all the issues that were discussed above. And both the films have an ensemble cast with deep character studies, but for me, Kumbalangi Nights does a better job in all those departments. Madhu C. Narayan's vision was put on screen by Siju Khalid. The lush green countrysides of Kerala with the peaceful blue water captured by the camera gives the movie a poetic tone. Especially the wide shots, the night scenes are all captured beautifully. The soulful music by Sushil Shyam will ring in your ear long after you left the movie. Especially the song Chera Tukhal, it's a new addition to my playlist. And you don't have to understand the language to feel the music. It will come close to you through its melody and soothe you. And all of this was made possible by the smooth editing of Saiju Sridharan. There is not one scene in this movie that was unnecessary. Every scene has its payoff. It has 135 minutes of runtime and it breezes through. At the end, Kumbalangi Night is that kind of a movie that will make you want to stay more with the characters, to stay at Kumbalangi and spend nights with them talking about their lives and their loves. So please watch the movie, and if you have watched it already, do let us know how you feel about it in the comment section. Also, let us know how you feel about our work. And please don't forget to subscribe to our channel and like this video.